Okay, it's Sunday night. I'm so
night.
excited. Sunday night service with Dani and Dr. Motley. Right? And
Dr.
tonight
Motley.
we're talking about stress. Oh my goodness. And stress will kill you.
It will kill you.
And so while people are waiting to get logged on and all that stuff, or while they're logging on, we'll go over a few things, a few housekeeping. And did you have a great weekend?
I did. I went to San Francisco with my mother, took her out there.
He just got home. I literally just saw him 2 minutes ago.
Just
walked
came
in the door.
and took Mom out there to go see San Francisco, see the sights and sounds. We went everywhere. Like we were talking before, I went out to the mountains, went down the ocean, saw the bay, saw the seals and the sea lions.
Oh, yeah.
Have you ever seen?
Yeah. No. Yes, I've seen them.
They smell really bad.
They
oh
do.
man, like
probably
you can
like me.
smell
I
the
just
fish.
went hiking.
Oh, stop! Like you can smell them like for like a block or so away.
Here, wait. Cheers.
Cheers.
It's Sunday night.
Sunday night. I just moved that.
Just move it.
Here. Cheers.
Here's
a Sunday
good to see you,
You
friend.
too.
Haven't seen you since last Sunday.
I know. What'd you do? Okay.
I had a date.
What?
I dropped my pen when I said that. I had a date this weekend. Today I spent 4 hours on a date. Went hiking at Ragnar. And then we went and had coffee. 4 hours. And it totally discombobulated me. Look at all the hearts popping up.
Yeah.
Got me all discombobulated because I was supposed to be working on this presentation. I was out having coffee with this guy.
Hey.
And we hiked and it was so beautiful. And we had, guess what he brought me? I didn't even put it up yet. This man gave me, look at this, guys, organic, he grows organic greens. He gave me a huge bag of organic mustard greens. Oh, look, there's a pine needle in it. And kale. Look at all of this. I'm telling you, this is a man after my heart. And
how do you say? He's like,
he said, I brought you something. I said, what'd you bring me? And he said, I gave you, anyway, and he gave it to me. I said, oh my gosh. I mean, I could have kissed him right there. He grows organic. So we had a whole conversation on the environmental working group, the Dirty Dozen, the Clean 15. He knew that strawberries were number one. I'm telling you now. Anyway, it was fun. So
wow.
So we're gonna go out Wednesday night.
Are you kidding?
Yeah, no, on a weeknight. That's a big deal for me to go out with somebody on a weeknight.
He's brought you kale. He's brought you greens. Wednesday night's going to bring you like a whole head of cabbage and cauliflower.
That's fine with me. I said, what would you do if you could do anything you wanted to do in this whole world? What would you do? And he told me that he would be an organic tomato farmer.
What?
I almost kissed him. I did. I said, are you serious? And he's in medical stuff. So anyway.
Wow.
Anyway, it was fun. Look what happens in a week's time.
I'm telling you. See, we talked about it and God just put this
it in
whole
the
thing,
universe.
And then God brought you greens.
Well, at the very least, I don't know. I've got a great guy now who can give me greens. Anyway, it was a ton of fun. So y'all don't need to know about my social life. Look at these little hearts. Yeah, it was fun. So anyway, talk about my stress level went down.
That's exactly like you're teaching what you're living what you're teaching today.
That's exactly, and those endorphins that go, yeah. So anyway, y'all don't even know that. But I went to Goodwill this weekend. I don't know if you saw the post or not.
I did see the post.
I bought these 99 cents for these awesome wine glasses because I've got a whole bunch of people coming over for Thanksgiving, and 99 cents a piece, and I got 4. And I got Asa Andrews' book. Do you remember Asa?
Asa, yeah.
Holy moly, people. For those of y'all that don't know Asa, he was here in this town for a while, and he left town. But anyway, that man.
I love those stories.
He left town. He was brilliant. I'm telling you, he was brilliant.
I didn't know
and he wrote great books. And this person, it's funny, I need to block that name out there. Whoever took it to Goodwill, I'm very grateful for it. And I bought Suzanne Summers, The Sexy Years. Suzanne Summers takes a lot of heat for being Suzanne Summers.
Yeah.
Well, she changed the whole trajectory in how people look at bioidentical hormones for us. I mean, she's just a lay person, but this woman goes off of the science.
Totally.
And so I don't have this book. I'm telling you, I love Goodwill. And like I said on my Instagram post, I shopped at Goodwill because I had to for many years.
She looks like she's super healthy too. I mean, I saw a thing on her that, about a year ago, and she looked like did she beat cancer?
She's beat cancer. I mean, she's the real deal, but she's got a lot of doctors in here talking in this book. I mean, she's spoken at a conference I went to. Yeah, she's pretty good. But I love Asa and I love Goodwill. I spent $10 and I got 2 amazing hardback books and 4 wine glasses. And I got a big old bag of mustard greens from a day. And I'm telling you, I've had a good weekend. Now, let me tell you something else I did. So you all know my cheese debacle I've been going on because I've cut dairy out. Okay.
Okay, you cut dairy out.
All right. So I've cut dairy out. And it just sucks. I'm flat out here to tell you, I would much rather cut out coffee, gluten, corn, soy, eggs, peanuts, you name it. Dairy has been very difficult for me. Cheese, just cheese. I don't like anything else really. But I'm going to tell you, this is the best. So I've tried all this fake cheese. This stinks. I wouldn't give you 5 cents for this crap. It is horrible. I mean, it's terrible. The pizza was awful. My neighbor was with me. That Daya stuff, I don't know who they are. Okay. No, they will never ask me to be a spokesperson. These people I would speak for. Follow your heart. Smoked Gouda.
Smoked Gouda.
Oh, open it. I ate the whole package. There's one piece
I guarantee you they're going to call you to get to this.
Split that with me. This is Follow Your Heart smoked Gouda slices, and it's with cashews.
What?
It is absolutely, no, I don't know. Maybe it's not with cashews. I don't know what it's with. I don't know. There may not even be a nut in that.
It's got coconut oil. It's got some potatoes, sea salt.
Oh, my Lord.
Flavor.
It made the best omelet.
Oh, wow.
It made the best cheese sandwich. This stuff is good.
Very good.
This is good.
It's very good.
I don't know what else they make, but I'm telling you people, Follow Your Heart.
Wow.
Smoked Gouda slices. Dairy free. All right. I can handle that. So then, but I can't find anything for the pizza. Nothing like mozzarella. So many of you emailed me and texted me and said, try sheep cheese. Becky DeVry. You didn't tell me. Okay. Becky. So Becky. So truffle pecorino, I don't know. I laugh every time I say it.
Did you just say pecorino?
Pecorino.
I shouldn't say that on the internet. I'm so sorry.
That's like I told those people they had to soak their nuts for hours at a pharmacy conference. I had no idea what I'd said. I went right through it.
Everybody was laughing.
All these old pharmacists just opened their mouth. I mean, it was like, and these girls were snickering in there. And anyway, I was humiliated. But anyway, in order to get the enzymes out, right, you got to soak your nuts for hours. That's what I said. And anyway, this truffle pecorino. So they said, try sheep's milk. If you're sensitive to goat, maybe you can do sheep's milk. Mm-hmm. Okay. I went to Costco. Of course, I've got 25 pounds now. I could start lifting weights from the cheese I've got. This is pretty decent. Truffle, pecorino, raw milk cheese. It's okay, but smell this. It is strong.
Wow. And it smells
strong, but it's good. I put it on pizza last night with this big. Would you look at how big this hunk of, this is Manchego cheese, 100% sheep's milk. This is to die for.
Is it delicious?
Smell that. Now, this is milk. This is real cheese, people, but it's from sheep. And I'd never had sheep's milk. Sheep's milk cheese. Sheep cheese. Say that 5 times.
Sheep cheese.
Sheep cheese. Okay. Sheep cheese. No, it's not cheap, but I got a ton. So I graded this on a gluten-free pizza last night.
Yeah.
This and this, it was to die for. My hands don't hurt today. So maybe I'm giving it. Yeah, maybe there is. Yeah.
I love sheep cheese.
If this is excellent. So this is Costco, but I've got enough. If anybody needs some, just let me know. I will give you some. I got plenty. That's about 5 pounds. Yeah, I could get some muscle. Yeah. So anyway, I had sheep cheese, mustard greens, Goodwill. I had a very busy weekend.
And you were all over the place.
I was all over the place, but man, this is good stuff.
It is so good. And you went all over the place. So you got, and we talked. You were traveling a little bit too. You came back into town.
Yeah, I went to Kentucky briefly. I want to go see my bestie up in Paducah, Trish. Hung out with her for one night and came back. That was fabulous. So, all right, we got lots of people logged on tonight. Everybody's interested in stress. Speaking of stress, I got an email from somebody on this the Dani Williamson page that she had called our office 3 times and we hadn't called her back for an appointment. I just wanted to say I am so sorry. I am very sorry. We are going through tremendous growing pains at the office. Yeah. And with growing pains comes dysfunction, malfunction, not like dysfunction, life, but like malfunction, and things happen. And trust me, it is not on purpose. You know, there's only really 3 of us there full time. In fact, there's only 3 of us there full time, and we're looking for, and I have 2 part time, and we're looking for help but we're booked until November of 2018.
Good.
And I'm not saying that to be arrogant. I'm not saying that to be
fantastic.
anything. It means there's a lot of sick people out there.
Yeah.
And with that being said, I am so sorry if you haven't been called back. We get to everybody eventually. Allie at DaniWilliamson.com. Allie is very serious about the emails. So ALLY at DaniWilliamson.com, and you will definitely get a reply, but it may take us a week. I mean, I'm just telling you.
Yes.
It's unbelievable how stressed we are. So speaking of stress, tonight is
how good you are.
Well, thank you. And well, I appreciate that. But it also tells you how desperate people are and how providers are not addressing the root cause, right, of symptoms, and how I just think how overwhelmed people are. They're looking for something different.
They are,
right?
They're trying to search for people who actually want to just investigate just a little bit more than what they've been used to.
Right.
And you go the extra mile, and people say, "Oh, she's going to go the extra mile," and they're willing to wait. They're willing to wait for you.
Well, I try to. I'm not perfect, but I definitely try to. I'm considering, and those of you that think you may be interested in this, just put up a little. Say something. No, don't put the little heart or anything up because I won't be able to see that later. But since we do have a significant wait to get in, I think my friend Lee Russell actually came up with this idea. Why don't we do like a while you wait meeting once or twice a month, probably twice a month. It's about probably an hour long. I mean, there'll be a fee to it because we'll do it after work, but it will give you a heads up on what you're waiting for, right? Maybe you'll detox before. Maybe you'll start the virgin diet. I'll talk about diet, sleep, exercise, pooping well, decreasing stress, all of that. Give you a solid hour of my time for, I don't know what the cost will be, but we have to figure it out. And then while you're waiting, you've already started what I would have already done at the first visit. And you may not even need me because I guarantee you there's plenty of people out there who do need us. So, you may not even need me. You may start feeling so much better from that visit. I don't know. I think it's a group visit.
I think it's a really
10
good
or 15 people. And while you're waiting here, let's do this. Here's what I do.
I think it's a great idea because you know as well as I do that whenever somebody just follows a health plan of eating.
Yes.
70-80% of their stuff can go away if they follow it precisely. And so people realize like this actually works. So that'd be a great idea.
Well, I'm thinking about it. I think it'll be good. I think we'll start it after the first of the year. We have some good.
Give you some time to do it. You know? Yeah.
Yes.
People are liking that.
Yeah,
That's
they
great.
are. They're liking that. Hey, stress is huge. Stress will darn near kill you. I know that. I lived through that for years. There were years of stress in my life that, oh my gosh, I don't know how. It was by the grace of God that I got through it every single day. Self-inflicted stress that you can't help, stress from a sickness or a bad marriage or a bad job, things like that. But we also pile on a lot of stress ourselves.
We do.
And I talk to patients about that a lot. But I was going to read you some statistics. I love statistics, people. So I'm going to talk a lot about the statistics of stress tonight and why people come to the office and things like that, or to a provider in general. He's going to get into the nitty-gritty science behind stress. But, 75 to 90% of all medical office visits are for stress-related issues.
Good.
75 to 90%. Unbelievable. 43% of all adults suffer adverse health effects from stress. I think that's actually higher.
I think it's higher
than what it is.
Yes.
Yeah. The CDC reports that 11% of Americans 12 and older take an antidepressant.
And
this is a 400% increase from the late 80s. To approximately 203 million prescriptions in 2011 were written for an antidepressant.
Oh my!
Women in their 40s and 50s, and I see this every day, 1 in 4 are on an antidepressant.
Good.
Probably more than that. I'd say it's more like 30-40%. Approximately 63 million prescription for Xanax and Ativan in 2011. Xanax was the #1 psychiatric medication that was written in 2000 ever.
63 million.
That drug kills you. I'm telling you right now. We know Dr. Dale Bredesen here, who wrote this book, has got research in here on Xanax and Valium being one of the contributors to dementia.
I agree Completely. Keep going.
Right?
That's so good.
I mean, that's huge. Anxiety disorders on ages 9 to 17, 13% of the kids. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, I see a higher number than that in my office. I have a lot of teenage girls in my office, and I just love teenage girls. I have a passion for them. I mean, I've been a raging lunatic with my teenage girl, but with teenage girls in my office, I just love them because they're so sassy. But I can't tell you how many of them come in with eating disorders and anxiety, and they're already on Xanax. They're already on Valium. They're already on an antidepressant. That tells you something about our society, right?
Completely. Oh man.
1 in 8 adolescents has depression. There was a survey, the Stress in America survey showed that adults continue to report high levels of stress, and many report that their stress has increased over the past year, right? 75% of all adults reported experiencing moderate to high levels of stress in the past month, and nearly half reported that their stress has increased the past year. 1 in 75 people may experience a panic disorder. This comes from the National Institute of Mental Health. Stress is the top health concern for United States teenagers between 9 and 12th grade. I'm telling you right now, these kids do not know how to live a normal, healthy, just be a kid life.
They don't. Not in this day and age.
We have pushed them to this.
Yeah.
Some of them have it inbred in them already to push, and do. But I'm telling you, parents, as parents, we're not doing our kids any favors by pushing them constantly. They don't want to be in 14 different activities. Many of them don't. Now, some do. I was busy. I always wanted to be in something. Psychologists say that if they don't learn healthy ways to manage that stress now, they are going to have long-term serious health implications. And these are the patients that sit on my couch right now and lay on your table right now and get work because they never learned how to deal with stress healthily. Healthy ways to deal with stress. I can't tell you how many teenage girls I have with eating disorders because they're stressed at school, right? A lot of eating disorders, right? Okay, top causes of stress in the United States. So I pulled this off of the APA. All right. Number 1 is job pressure. Amen to that. All right, Allie, Stephanie, don't listen to this.
Pressure.
Job pressure from your coworkers. Coworkers, tension, bosses. Work overload. Yeah, we're going through every single bit of this, but we do laugh. We laugh because there's nothing we can do. We could work there 20 hours a day and never get caught up. And so we just have to learn to just let it go. But number one reason for stress reported by Americans is job stress. Good. Well, I'm telling you right now, if your job is that stressful, or if you're that miserable in your job, then change jobs, change careers. I made a 180-degree turn, got out of fashion, breast pumps and nipple cream, mum's the word maternity, and I went to nursing school. Now, I went from the frying pan to the kettle to more stress, but I left a job before this that was so stressful. It wasn't a bad job. I was just under so much stress there. I had to make a decision. It's going to kill me. If I don't leave, I am going to die here. And when you cry every day in your job, I'm telling you, you need to find a different career or you need to change jobs. Have the courage to step out of the boat and make a decision. I'm sorry. I don't, and nobody's going to ever talk to me about not having courage because I have made some hard decisions in my life. And the best decision I ever made was to step out of the boat, walk on water 3 years ago and open my own practice. Yeah. What's the worst that happens? It doesn't work. I got to go work somewhere else for somebody.
When you knew that line was coming, like it had a time you said, okay, I'm done with this. Did it just like you knew it was coming? Did something just sort of click and you said, it's it?
I'm telling you, I audibly heard it. I waited and I waited and I waited and I waited until I knew because I'm a knee-jerk reaction person. Yeah. I personally have created a tremendous amount of stress in my life by being a knee-jerk reaction person. All before I was 40. I had some crazy stress that I created. I waited and I waited and I worked on it and I prayed and I knew the exact moment I was told, go now. And when I made the decision to do that and I listened, I left my job and I opened a medical practice within 3 weeks. I waited until it was right. But I'm telling you, if you're that stressed at work, if you're that stressed anywhere, you have to find a way to change it. It's not always somebody else's fault.
No.
And it's just not. Number 2 is money. Yeah, loss of a job, right? Reduced retirement, medical expenses. Medical expenses are killing people.
It is killing
We
people.
are a broken healthcare society, and it's killing people.
People stay in their jobs that they hate because of the insurance. And I understand it. I'm not saying you shouldn't. But people do. Like, we know that. Yeah.
I don't even have insurance. I have a Christian health share. I don't go to the doctor often. It'll cover me if I have huge problems, but I rarely go to the doctor or the nurse or anywhere. So, health crisis, that's number 3, reason for stress. Chronic illness, terminal illness, that's horrible. Relationship, number 4, divorce, death of a spouse, arguments with friends, loneliness. We could do a whole series on loneliness. Loneliness is killing us. Absolutely. We are the most connected society. There's 100, 200 people watching this tonight, and we are the most lonely society in the world.
We are.
Because this is not your community.
No.
This is community.
It is.
One-on-one, right?
I think that, do you ever have times when people come and see you and you literally say, most all this would be solved up if you just had a community of people.
I ask people. I ask everyone, how's your community? How's your stress? Who do you have to call? Things like that. Lots of people have no community. No community. Yep. Poor nutrition, number 5. Amen to that. Inadequate nutrition. Caffeine. Now, I'm not ever going to rag on you on caffeine because I like coffee. I don't drink Cokes or sodas or anything like that, but I like coffee. I do. Processed foods, refined sugars. That's number 5. Media overload causes for stress, right? Television, radio, internet, email, social networking.
I'm just
Sleep deprivation. One of the biggest reasons for stress. Inability to release adrenaline and other stress hormones when you lie down. And that's something.
Are you serious?
Mm-hmm. 77% of people who 77% of the people regularly experience physical symptoms caused by stress. I watch it every day. Upset stomach, migraine headaches, fatigue. Right?
Can I just do those?
Yes.
Okay, you talked about the iPad overload. I read this report. It says the cerebellum, which helps, it's like part of your brain, basically on the backside of your brain. It holds 80% of your nerves, 80% of your neurons. And it's stimulated mostly by mechanoreceptors, which is basically your movement. But it said the number 1 hindrance to your cerebellum is TV and iPad use. It's almost, they say, as bad as cocaine, like on the cerebellum.
Really?
That's why they say when, I want to get back to this, but they say when kids are below the age of 2, that they'll look at a TV and you ever watch a kid and they'll just sit there and they'll go, and their mouth will be open and they won't move, is because they literally are hardening their brains, they say, because it's too much stimulation to their cerebellum.
Do you know that in Japan and several places it's illegal to give a child under the age of 2 an electronic device? Illegal. The parents are
I didn't. Okay.
Because of the EMFs, the electromagnetic fields, right?
Yeah. Where they think people are like, no,
and that's something.
Sorry, skip
73% of these people surveyed regularly experience psychological symptoms caused by stress. Absolutely. Anxiety, depression, right? 33% feel they are living with extreme stress.
All the time.
All the time. 100% your adrenals are going on overload. You're shooting out cortisol nonstop, right? Well, you can't live like that, right?
Nope.
76% cited money and work as their leading cause of stress. I believe that. 48% lie awake at night due to stress. And guess
48%.
what? If you can't sleep, you can't heal.
Nope.
It's a vicious cycle, perfect storm.
You told me that before, and I agree. Sleep is your biggest healer.
You bet it is.
Sleep is your biggest healer.
Yep. 31% of employed adults say they have difficulty managing work and family responsibilities. Amen. You can't do it all and do it well.
That's right.
It's not, and I nearly killed myself trying to do that.
Yeah, draw that line.
It's just by the grace of God and the ability of your body to heal itself, because you can't do it all well. Just like I told my friend Becky, who told me about the sheep's cheese.
The pecorino
sheep cheese. Yeah, that's, anyway, I told her one day in the office, I said, just wear socks. This was probably 8 years ago. I said, just wear socks in the house. Just wear socks. If you're that stressed because your floor's that dirty, put some socks on, right? Just put socks on. I mean, for crying out loud, I nearly killed myself. Now, listen, this is kind of going off the side, people, but my kids are 20 and 21 years old. God, can you believe that? No. When they were little, I feel like that I just a minuted their life away. They were little bitty kids. I was running Mom's the Word maternity. I was teaching yoga. I was in a very difficult, bad marriage. And I was trying to keep the house clean, cook the dinner because he wouldn't eat out ever. And all of this, and all they wanted was my attention. And I was constantly, just a minute. And I was there, but I was never present 100%. And I'm going to tell you something, as a single mom for almost 15 years, I mean, I did the best I could. I did the best I could. But I regret that, and I don't regret a whole lot in my life, but I regret the time that I pushed them away. Just a minute, because there comes a time now. Yeah. She would drop dead if I went and crawled in the bed with her and right now and snuggled up by her and wanted to know about her day. There comes a time when they don't want that anymore, right? Yeah. Yeah. All they wanted was to be on the couch with me and to do stuff. And I was constantly doing something else. I was on the computer. I was on Facebook was just kind of starting back then, but I was just busy. And I'm sorry, busy is killing us, and it's killing our families, and it's killing us. And those babies, we get one shot at raising those kids. Yeah. One. Yes. And you don't have kids. Don't have kids. But someday you will, and you get one shot at it. One shot. And you screw it up. And it's by the grace. Thank you, Jesus, Lord, for good kids. But it has not been easy. And I just regret missing. I should have just laid on the floor with them and watched movies more, And I was at their games and I was everything, but I was never 100% present because I was thinking about the next thing. You talk about stress. That's right. I mean, they talk about practicing presentness. Yes, I mean, like being present. Gratitude is the way to be present and be gratitude. But I wasn't grateful. Even though I knew I was grateful, I wasn't practicing gratitude and saying, thank you, Lord, and if you don't believe in God, then thank you for, these babies. Thank you for these babies. Thank you for this meal that we have. And I'd be sitting at that dinner table thinking, come on now, hurry up. And Ella looked at me one day and she said, Mom, do we have to hurry? Do we have to hurry? I mean, what? Dagger through the heart. Oh, my word. Right? I mean, it's just as a parent, it's you're doing everything you can to make it work, right? Yep. But, you live and you learn. But 54% of these interviewed said that stress causes them to fight with people close to them. Oh, I believe that. Yeah, Dougley, you spout off. I've got a lot of issues. I mean, nothing massive, but I've got a temper. I mean, I say things. You don't have a I'm much calmer than I used to be, but I have a sharp tongue. And when you say your words are quickly, all you have to do is put that S in front of that W and it turns into a sword. Words equals sword. That is good. And I have said some mean ass stuff to my kids under stress and to my ex. It was needed. Husband, husband. I want to clarify that. But words are so powerful. So powerful. And Jill Park taught me that when she did at our women's conference every year that she puts on. She does the thing and it has words spelled out. And then she walks over there very calmly and takes that S off of words and puts it right in front of it. And it's a sword. Oh. You can't take those things back. No. And that puts stress on yourself as well. Once you say things like that, you're stressed over it. And it's crazy when you just say that with words. I was reading a report we talked about today about epigenetics, and they had a study, and they said that the only thing, they said one of the main things that could ever change a person's expression of their genetics was taking light frequency, a light. So you just take a light, like a laser light, and you push it in and you focus it on the brain. It's a cold laser, not a hot laser that'll burn your head off like in the movies. All right. But you take a cold laser and they said they infuse it. What they do is they put a frequency in the light because that's what light is basically wavelength frequency. But it's in the tone or in the range of voice frequency because they say that the only thing that could change the expression of your genes is your sound, what you say. Wow. And they say that the whole universe resonates on the tone or in the sound range of the voice. So what you say shapes your genetics. What you say over and over and over
shapes who you are.
I believe that.
You
heard what Ella just said a minute ago about I'm not ever going to make any money. Yeah. Ellie, who the heck's Ellie? Ella wants to be a social worker. And so we were talking about, I said, yeah, you take your mama on a trip someday. And she says, I'm never going to make any money. And you called her out on it immediately.
Yeah.
And said, don't say that. Don't speak that to the universe, Ella. Of course, I don't know any social workers who make enough money to take their mom to San Francisco.
She's gonna have some kind of new thing that's gonna be revolutionized social work, and she'll be like really.
Oh, she'll be so good at it. Okay, 300 billion as in boy, $300 billion is the annual cost to employers in stress-related health care and missed work. To employers,
300 billion.
Yeah, 300 billion.
I mean, okay, guys.
30% of people say they're always or often under stress at work. Now, some stress is good, right? Some stress is good. We need stress. I need stress. If I don't have any stress, I'm a big slug. I just lay down.
But you talked about the other day. We did talk about that we like to have some kind of push. We like that stress, that they get stress to make us move faster.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
But I would think that'd be a little bit higher. Do you think that there are so many people that are stressed?
Oh, I think so. I think that's incorrect. Okay, here we go real quick. And then, so people who cited physical symptoms experience the following. So these are the people who said they get physical symptoms from stress. 51% get fatigue. I think that's more than that. But headache, 44%. Upset stomach, 34%. That was me. Upset stomach. Horrible. Muscle tension, right? I mean, that whole, tight shoulders, tight jaws, tight neck. That's why we go see him. 30%. Change in appetite, 23%. I believe that. I don't eat when I get stressed.
Yeah, I don't either.
I've lost 6 pounds, and it is simply I'm eating. I've got 5 pounds of goat cheese to eat. I mean, sheep cheese to eat over here. I don't eat. I lose my appetite when I get stressed. Some people eat. I don't. Yeah. And I'm grateful I don't. They grind their teeth, 17%. Change in sex drive, 15%. I'm telling you right now, that's close to 100% for women.
I would say.
Now, I sit all day, every day, and talk to women. Probably 95% of my patient population is women. How's your sex drive?
Oh, man.
Non-existent. Yeah. Could care less if I ever have sex again. I hear it all the time. And it's many things, but oftentimes it's stress, right?
It's stress.
Stress.
What is all levels?
Again, we've had this conversation. Men, if they're stressed or don't like you, they'll still have sex with you. But a woman is that's an emotional thing, right? And so if they're stressed out or if they're angry, they don't want sex.
That's right.
Change in sex drive, 15%. That's much higher. Feel dizzy. So psychological, 50% feel irritable or angry. Yes, I did with stress. 45% feel nervous. 35% feel as though they could cry.
I would say it's probably 55 or 60%.
Yeah. Really, yeah. I agree. All right. So, stress is huge. And we're going to talk next week. We're going to talk all about adrenal fatigue. We're going to talk about, I gave you something. I got you something. I made you a handout on adrenals. Adaptogens. I'm going to talk about one adaptogen tonight that I use for stress. I personally use it. Look, this is really good, by the way. Yeah, I made this up too. You can hand this out. These are your adaptogens: ashwagandha, holy basil, rhodiola, eleutherococcus, ginseng, licorice, shashandra, lemon balm. So, eleutherococcus, which is on page 2, right here. Eleuthero, right? This is a performance and focus enhancer. It's stimulating. Eleutherococcus is. This is amazing for patients, for people who are under long-term stress. Patients like single mothers, right? Caring for aging parents, caring for sick parents, caring for a sick child, caring for a sick spouse or a boyfriend or a girlfriend, what have you. Long-term stress or new moms even. Yeah. Eleutherococcus is great. Night shift workers and their stress levels, man, I try to get all my patients off of night shift. It's good for brain fog. Anti-stress effects. It increases brain function, increases your immunity, improves your detox, builds muscles, prevents breakdown while aging, decreases pain and inflammation with osteoarthritis, which is great, right? Yeah, insomnia is rare with it, but if in fact you have some insomnia with it, you can take it before noon.
Yeah.
It could increase your blood pressure. I've never seen it increase blood pressure, but eleutherococcus, I mean, you could pay attention to it and see if it raises your blood.
I've never seen it do that.
Eleuthero is one of the best, 100%, one of the most studied adaptogens out there, known to man, right? Increases mental alertness and performance while increases energy and stamina. I mean, I think it's, also 2 grams a day reduces the frequency of recurrent herpes, herpes simplex, right? 1 or 2. So, I mean, heck.
And it's funny because when you have,
that's a stressor in itself.
Yes, like
herpes.
Schisandra and ashwagandha, when you take those are natural antibiotics and killers from microbes as well. So people take Schisandra, and it's so good for their, like you say, brain fog and focus. But it kills a ton in the liver because it's a natural glutathione producer in the liver.
Yes, it is.
I take it 3 times a day. That's why I'm so chill.
You take ashwagandha 3 times a day?
I do.
You do? Ashwagandha is great for sleep, which we'll talk about next week. We'll go over every single one of these adaptogens next week, which is fun. I love adaptogens.
I do too.
Oh my gosh. And adaptogens do what they're supposed to do. They adapt. But I did want to share about eleutherococcus tonight. I think I use Gaia Herbs eleutherococcus in the office.
It's a good
product. Oh, yeah. I keep it in stock.
Brand.
I keep a ton deep of eleutherococcus in the office because Dr. Taroni Lodog, who's one of my favorite MDs out there, she says, when you don't know, choose Eleuthero. Because it won't hurt people at all. Right? That's one of my favorite adaptogens. Now, there's nothing you can do. You can't supplement yourself enough to take away stress, right? No. And the effects that stress will have on your body. I love eleutherococcus. I love GABA. I adore GABA for patients that can take. GABA is an amino acid that decreases the physical symptoms of stress and anxiety. The tight shoulders, the tight neck, the clenched jaws, the migraine headaches, I can't unwind, kind of thing. I'm so tense. I love GABA.
I do
multiple times a day. And I use the sublingual one with patients. And
what brand do you use on the sublingual?
I use Source Naturals, which is what
great.
Trudy Scott, who is on this group, she's on the Inside Out group, who wrote the anti-anxiety food solution, mood solution.
GABA,
Yeah. Source Naturals, and then I use enzymatic therapies as well. They do a really good. I love enzymatic. Yeah, they do a really good job, and now does a great. We have all 3 in the office. We have 2 chewables, and we have 1 just straight up GABA. But I'm telling you, GABA and eleutherococcus are 2 of my things. But supplements are very difficult with stress. Stress is something that only you are in control of, right? I mean, this can help, but it can't change your situation at work. It can't change your situation at home. It can't change your situation with your children or your mother or your family or your in-laws. Sorry, I gave that one away. No, I said it. That's up to you, right? That's completely up to you. And I do believe that you have to take some responsibility. You can watch all these Sunday night services you want, but we have to take responsibility for our own health.
Exactly.
We have to. You can't complain year after year after year over something that you're not fixing. And I know that's hardcore, and I'm going through menopause, and I'm hot flashing left and right over here, and I say what I think now, which is kind of liberating, man. There's something about being 50 plus. But I'm sorry. If you're unhappy in something, then fix it.
Yeah.
Fix it.
Hey, I love it. Is this you ever heard of the Avett Brothers?
Yes.
There's a song, guys. You guys like Avett Brothers. It says, decide what to be and go be it. And that's the best.
That's exactly. And I have screwed up a lot of things in my life, but that's one thing I have not messed up.
Well, you have made the changes, and
I have made the changes.
And it gives you, like, she lives what she's preaching. So
I do.
She changed it, and it went, oh, man.
I do. So those are some statistics and a little bit GABA and eleutherococcus. And I love lemon balm, but we could go down the whole road tonight, but we're going to save that for next week. So you got to tune in next week. Yeah, lemon balm's one of my favorites. But you're going to talk about all the fancy stuff.
No. We're going to just make it. We're already a little bit over time.
We are?
Yes, we are totally over time. But it's just the thing. So Dani is just, you have such good pizzazz.
What?
Mine's going to be really, hopefully it's not too.
It's just
I'm going to give you some minutes. Okay. So when we talk about stress, and I'm just basically reiterating what she's already talked about how it's about stress at work, about what you eat, about relationships you're in, about having to deal with like your parents, how you regret things in the past.
And regret. We didn't even talk about that. Regret's huge.
Regret and shame would be another one.
Oh, shame. That's
so big. And I think
Brene Brown, my all-time favorite.
See, that'd be another one we could talk about.
Talk about shame. We can talk about shame. I could talk about shame.
The 4 things that shorten the life, like I'll go through this quickly, but like we have talked about it. But essentially, the 4 things that we see in the office are oxidation, which is free radical damage, okay? And you have inflammation, which Dani was talking about, leaky gut, and inflammation. What you eat can bring inflammation to your body and make you swell because you're retaining more water to cool you down from all the heat.
Yeah.
Glycation, which is eating your bad carbs, which is the crappy carbs, if I can say that on here. And abnormal methylation. Now, I don't want to get too boring or get too scientific or technical about it, but remember the 4 things: oxidation, inflammation.
This is a smart crew on here.
Glycation, and methylation, improper methylation. Now, I just want to say this. When we're talking about stress, this is one thing I would love to talk about. So when Dani says that if something comes through with work and you sit there all day or you stay up all night and you don't sleep, that in our genes, right, and we talked about epigenetics the other day, they say that our normal gene sequences that you learn in biology class or biochemistry, the one thing they have on each DNA strand or each nucleotide base, which is basically on your genes, okay, just on your genes, you have a tail. It's called a telomere. And they say this, we talk about statistics. A telomere, basically, the length of the telomere tells you how long you'll live.
Mm-hmm.
So they have stress tests that actually can test the length of your telomere.
Yes.
So it says this. Now, they did a study that said that they had a group of patients where they had the parents of children who are sick with cancer.
Oh.
And they usually...
okay, keep going. Keep going.
Add in. And so they had one group where they had a control group, and the other ones had actually kids with cancer. They found out that the parents that had kids with cancer, the telomere, the tail on the end of their DNA sequence, actually was shorter by almost 70% than the parents that the kids that didn't have cancer.
Yes, I cannot believe you just shared that. You had no. That was I went 8 years ago. Dr. Dan Kalb sent me to my very first integrative medicine conference, and it was for ZRT, my saliva company.
Oh, yeah.
So I was listening to them. And they said this, right? And they were talking about special needs children. It was like 70% shorter telomeres. I mean, their lifespan was set. It was excuse me. I'll never forget texting Dr. Kalb saying, "Holy cow!" Yeah. That was the first big takeaway I ever learned about telomeres and stress.
And they say, isn't it crazy that we talk, because in telomeres, if you have a long, like for the
we
parents,
say telomere in Gilbertsville, Kentucky.
Telomere. So what we're going to do is telomeres are really important. And when they said improper methylation, because I know a lot of you have studied methylation, but the telomere basically reaches out, the tail does, and grabs carbon and hydrogen, grabs it and curls it in and keeps your body from replicating or duplicating bad genes. So your telomere, your tail is a protective mechanism. But if you shorten it with stress, you allow all your genetic mutations that you got from your parents, like high blood pressure, diabetes, heart disease, all that shows because of stress. Issues. And like when you talked about when we talked about bipolar and we talked about depression, that is another thing with telomeres, because those are part of 2 pathways, COMT and MAO. But I'm saying telomere length is directly related to your depression and anxiety. And glycation, guys, I'm going to go over that. So we know that telomere length, there are tests out there. Let me, the telomere test.
I don't test for telomeres.
I don't either.
Who does? Does anybody know who tests for telomeres?
It is. Let me check here.
I would love to test for that, although I don't know. Mine's probably like 90% gone, and then I'd be stressed. It's like checking for Alzheimer's disease, So while you're looking for that, Austin, I see you. I don't see you. Yes, I had a great time with him this week. I joined Lifetime Fitness, and he was working out with me today. So I'm going to go. I'm working on my bone strength. Yes. Heather says Pecorino is my jam. God bless. I got a whole bunch right here for you if you want to come get some. I don't know how you say it. And Elisa Hines says, I once had a doctor tell me that stress has no effect on your physical well-being. It was the only time I saw her. Amen to that.
Yeah, that's
right.
Good. That's not good. Yes.
Okay,
No, $89 for a telomere health test. It's out of Redwood, California. So if you can Google that, Redwood, California, there's one of the labs out there, telomere health test. So we had the telomeres. And so what we're saying is stress definitely can affect the length of your life. And a couple more things. Glycation. So to say this about stress, we're going into Thanksgiving. Glycation is basically the natural process in your body when we eat all the good foods this year, right? It's basically the proteins that bind to sugar in your blood if you eat too much bad sugars, right? And so the biggest thing about stress about this that people love, especially ladies, is in glycation. If you eat too much sugars or too much bad, crappy sugars, it affects the amount of formation of fibers within the collagen. So they say this, if you eat too much sugar, it actually can create more creases in your face.
Oh, my Lord. That's why I look like Harlan right here. English Bulldog sagging down. It's the sugar.
They say the sugar is. It actually, there's proteins that bind to the sugar. You create, and they call them AGEs. They're advanced glycation end products. And they can actually, like in diabetes, this is why they study. In diabetics, they study this because they eat so much sugar that those proteins go in and do what to their legs? They get numb legs, numb feet, bad vascular supply. But what does it do to your face? If you don't have diabetes, if you ate a lot of sugar, what does it do to your face? Decreases the blood flow to your face. And what does your face do? It starts getting creases. All through it because you're not getting blood flow to your face.
Well, I don't eat that much sugar,
no,
I think.
You look great.
Yeah, but I'm sagging.
Oh, well.
Come on. But you know what? Thin women do. Thin women age, I think. We just don't have that we don't have anything. No chest, no nothing. I mean, I need... okay.
I'll hurry up and get to, like they said.
No, this is interesting.
Glycation, but you know what I say this, guys? Smoking and drinking Coke or soda increases your glycation by 30 times.
What? Well, I believe that. There is no condition that smoking or soda helps.
Nope.
Right?
Nope.
Have you ever told anybody to smoke 4 cigarettes a day to help them?
No.
Or drink 4 Diet Cokes a day to help
if they ever tell me they drink Diet Coke, I'm like,
it's the worst thing you do. It's just nothing but rat poison. It's just terrible.
It's horrible. So we already covered it. Oxidation was free radical damage. Dana already talked about if you're chronically sick, if you have chronic infections like Epstein-Barr, like she was talking about, taking like the adaptogens will help kill it off. A chronic infection will increase your oxidation because you're trying to increase oxygen levels to kill off infections. So we have oxidation, we have inflammation from your bad diet, glycation from my bad diet. I'm saying like we all try to eat well, but glycation from eat bad carbs and abnormal methylation, which is all the telomeres. Okay, so there's a 4 things. So the next week when we talk about stress and about the adrenals, you get more hands on like what we take or what we give to our patients to like get them out of their stress.
Right.
Now, like all what we get from today, from what I'm talking about is knock out all your processed carbs. I know we talk about it all the time. Knock out all your processed carbs and processed trans fats. You got to get rid of that to help your skin look younger and look great. And I will say this, that I was reading a report. There was a guy named Walter Bradford. He's a psychologist. Or is he a psychologist or physiologist? He's a physiologist out of Harvard. And he was talking about how tonic stress, you're right, is the root of all illnesses. He says when your sympathetics are high, like you're good up and go all the time, it says you release a ton of catecholamine, which is like from your adrenals to actually basically it ruins your cells. And this is the crazy thing. They say that if you have high amounts of cortisone, high amounts of cortisol, it actually reduces the amount of, they call it, guys, NF-kappa beta, which is this. NF-kappa beta is there to actually regulate your cells, to actually help modulate the amount of stress your cell can get. But if you have a whole bunch of cortisol and stress from the body, it is almost impossible for your cells to heal. So we're saying that you got to get your stress down.
You do.
Like you said, take charge of what you do.
You
have to take charge, and you got to sort of like make a decision not to be stressed.
Well, I made a decision. I eat well. I sleep pretty well, other than the hot flashes going on and off. I sleep well. I've got good community. I poop like a goose. Perfect. Never been constipated in my life. I mean, and I have community. I decrease stress. Stress is not that. I mean, I have stress, but I really manage it much better now. But my exercise is what's been lacking since I opened the practice. I exercise, but I don't exercise like I should. That's why I joined, and I am going to be held accountable now. And you're going to see this. Whoa. I have never had that. That irritates oh my gosh, I can't even do it. It looks terrible in there. It's terrible. So Austin is going to get my butt in shape, and I am going to build bone, because who gets osteoporosis? Skinny white women, right? They do. So Bonnie said, Laura says, I've heard you can increase the length of your telomeres. Is this true?
You can. They say
what do we say? What do we do?
You can. When we talked about the other day, especially thyroid health has to do with everything to do with selenium and zinc, iodine and tyrosine.
Yep.
And B1, 2, 3, and 6, they show that those can actually help your body and your thyroid to heal your adrenals, and your telomeres will actually re-lengthen. And that's why you hear us talking all day about magnesium and boron, because minerals are a huge thing. Remember, magnesium is your number one brain mineral. Like, your brain loves magnesium. And you know what steals magnesium from your brain? Sugar. Every drop of sugar steals some form of magnesium from you. So that was real southern. Do you hear that? From you. Anyway, but that's what increased the length of the telomere, is getting proper minerals and vitamins, like we've been talking about before.
And we'll talk all about that next week. Well, you have to have your. Paul Farmer says, Motley, you're my best friend. Read it to him, Dani. That's what he says.
He's my best friend. He's my best friend, Paul. I love that guy.
Bonnie, thank you. You're beautiful as well, my friend. And Eileen, no, my arms do not look good. I'm telling you, they're bad. But they're going to. By the time I'm 52, that's my goal, which is January 18th. Yep. I am going to have some muscle back in my arms. I'm going to work hard for darn sure.
Oh, I'm telling you, it's so great. And
so this is what I tell people is give yourself some grace. I had the opportunity last week to tell 2 separate families that give yourself some grace, man. Yeah. I was on the phone with somebody talking, and she said, she was talking about, she's got an autistic son, and she has a typical child son, and she's got, her stress level is through the roof, and her thyroid is out of whack, and all kinds of things are bad. And I said to her, give yourself some grace, honey, because, children are resilient. They do remember, because I remember things my mom said to me, like, you'll never amount to anything. You do everything half-ass. I mean, these are swords that came out, but, I overcame that. I've overcome that, but I still remember it. But, give yourself some grace when you act ugly. Give yourself some grace when you don't live up to your expectations, and their expectations are, those are hard. Those are hard, right?
Yep.
You got to have grace. We're not perfect. There was only one perfect human ever, and it's not you.
Yeah.
Guaranteed. And I wish I had known that, grace is a big thing. Grace is a great thing. And you have to forgive yourself for acting ugly, right? But you have to figure out ways to make that happen less and less and less. And again, that comes accountability.
Inch by inch, it's cinch, right? But yard by the yard, it's hard.
That's exactly right. And you have to be gentle with yourself. You just have to. We're so hard on each other. We're so hard on ourselves.
Exactly.
I'm extremely hard on everybody, but I'm extremely hard on myself.
Yes.
And you have to be so careful what you put out there to the universe, what you say about yourself. Right?
Because your brain listens. Remember,
your brain does listen.
Your brain always listens to what you say to it.
You cannot be everything to everyone. You can't. And there are so many people that I tried to please, and I stressed myself out for so long trying to be somebody I wasn't. And now, I've always pretty much been, this is what you get. This is who you are and who I am. And if you don't like it, then that's fine. But it used to stress me out when people didn't like me.
Yeah.
I don't get stressed. I could not give a rat's tail anymore about whether people like me or not. This is me. Yeah. What you see is what you get. Yeah. And you have to accept who you are. You have to accept who other people are. And you have to, if you're that upset with if you can't change the situation and you're not going to leave it, then accept it and say, hey, this is my normal, and be happy with it.
I completely agree. That's right. Because, when people don't give themselves enough grace, or they don't give themselves enough time to heal, being as hard as we are on ourselves, is that I consider that throughout the day, most people that come to see us are the kind of individuals that basically tell themselves all day that I'm not good enough, or I'm never going to get better. And your body listens. Your mental, your conscious mind says, I want to get better, but your body's listen to you say that and think that the whole time. And it's like saying, why are you lying to me? You're thinking this, but you really don't mean it. And
that's exactly right.
And so when you go see us, or you go see Dani, to me, it's not so much just even physical healing. Really, it's like a spiritual, emotional healing. It's like, how do you connect with God, your higher source? Like, how do you connect with that? And that's where it all starts. And that's where it all begins.
You're exactly right.
Grace has to come.
Yes, it does. grace, and you can't be everything to everyone. It's not possible. And you can't be the perfect mother, the perfect daughter, the perfect wife, the perfect husband, the perfect parent. Oh yeah. None of that, the perfect employee. And I mean, you're just never going to live up to everybody's expectations, but more so your own. And when you just have to realize that you are enough. You are enough right here, right now, tonight. What is tonight? November the 12th, 2017 at 7:55. You are enough. If you don't do another darn thing tonight, you are enough.
That's right.
And that is so hard for women, right? For especially, we put so much stress on ourselves. And I mean, God bless you. I love men. I think they're great. I'd marry another one someday. I would if I found the right one. When they're tired, what do? They get up and they go to bed. I'm going to bed. I'm going to bed. When a woman says, I'm going to bed, it takes them 30 minutes to get to bed. They make sure the laundry's done, or the laundry's from the washer to the dryer, or maybe I had to wash it again because it sat in the washer too long and now it's spoiled again. But anyway, they empty the dishwasher. They feed the dog. They make sure the kids' stuff is ready for the next day. They make sure whatever's ready, blah, 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 the coffee's ready. I mean, you name it, whatever. It takes a million forever to get ready to go to bed. Walk in there and the man's sound asleep. Yeah. They take care of themselves. For the most part, men take care of themselves. Yeah. That's not a bad thing. I mean, it may be irritating, but it's not a bad thing. No, right?
Not at all.
If you went to bed right now and went to bed, it's fine. You're enough. Right. Give yourself some grace. One of my favorite books is The Best Yes. And I love this book. I had to read it in a Bible study I was in by Lisa Turkers. The Best Yes. And it's not about saying no, right? It's about saying yes. What's the best yes for your family, right? Why do we overextend ourselves? We create a lot of this ourselves. I'm telling you, why do you overextend yourself? I mean, if you're not the room mother, hellfire, it's not going to fall apart. The kid's still going to get out of third grade, whether you're the room mother or not. I mean, why do we put so much stress on ourselves? So the best yes is about what's the best for my family? What's the best yes? It's not about saying no. It's about what's the best yes.
Exactly.
And I mean, that is a fabulous book to read about setting boundaries and decreasing unnecessary stress in your life.
I agree, because I think that when you just said like taking expectations, when we say I expect to do this, and I'm not saying expectations are horrible, but what you're saying is that an expectation that something has been placed on you, that you have to meet a requirement, to make something work, or to actually say that I'm satisfied or be good. And what we're saying is that if we take all the teachings of people who are like the best spiritual teachers, but even the words of Christ is, don't take no thought for tomorrow. Don't even worry about tomorrow because it has too much trouble. What he's saying is you got to live now. And a lot of the teachers say that, and prophets and say that you have to live now, because what are you doing? You're putting too much expectation on yourself. And what do? You start to depend on yourself more.
Yep.
And then what are you trying to do? You're trying to create energy that's inside you, and your body's like, I don't have the energy. I need something else to help guide me and help to give me some energy so I don't have so much expectation. And that's where grace comes involved. Grace is seeing that I don't have it. And that's okay. You're sufficient. It is because we don't have to look so much in. We can look out. It's good.
How about saying, I don't have it? Like, I'm cooking Thanksgiving this year at home, and I'm thrilled to death to do it. But anybody who's ever cooked Thanksgiving at home, especially when you're trying to go dairy free, good Lord, I got a big old cheese board I'm going to do, and I'm putting real cheese on it. I'm going to eat my sheep cheese and my fake cheese, but I'll have real cheese for the other people. But I ordered 3 or 4 different sides from Megan at And 3 Foods for, because I'm not going to spend all that. I'm just not doing it anymore. I have done it where I've made myself sick trying to get everything right. And I used to watch my grandmother do dinners, all of our dinners. She never enjoyed any of it because she was constantly stressed out over it. She would hardly sit down. Everything would be cold. Maybe she wouldn't even eat. You know what? Do the best you can and hire somebody else or have somebody cook it or do whatever you can afford. But big deal. What if it doesn't I'm not doing bread because it'll stress me out to try to make gluten-free bread, and I'm just not doing it. We're not having bread. Those of you that are coming for Thanksgiving, there is no bread. So if you want to bring bread, bring your own darn bread. I am not doing it. And, the holidays are coming up. I'm going to have more fun this year than I have ever had.
Yeah.
I have dreaded it for so many years, the holidays, because I've been so stressed. I am so excited this year. I don't know what's wrong with me. I am so ready for it. I take my tree down the day after Thanksgiving, the day Christmas Eve, or not Christmas Eve, good Lord, Christmas night. I always do all that. This year, I am so excited because I'm just not going to stress. I am not going to stress. If it doesn't get done, big deal. Yeah. It doesn't get done. Christmas is going to come and go, whether or not I'm ready or not. And I have missed too many darn Christmases, not missed them, but I have been so stressed out over them. I'm not doing it anymore.
No.
My kids got 3 gifts when they were growing up from the wise men. That's how I did it. 3. I said, if it's good enough for Jesus, it's good enough for you. He got 3 gifts and you're getting 3 gifts. And that's how I did it. Yeah. And that was great. And kids, they get gifts from their grandparents and all that, but
they get too much.
They get way too much.
I'm telling you, you think about every kid you have in your family, like I give like $50 like to every one of them. And you're like, I didn't get $50, kind of like.
Hey, look here. Hey, Ellen, good for you. She says, I said no when asked to sub in a club because it would really add stress to my week. And that's an accomplishment for me. Thank you. Good job, Ellen. Mm-hmm. That's right. There's nothing wrong with saying no. Absolutely not. Hey, Keith Coley's watching.
Keith.
Oh, Lori Christian, they do the three gift from the wise men also. Yeah. It just made our life.
They say that Julia and McKinsey. Oh, okay.
Is that
the
a
white shirt,
wearing?
because she says colors don't match. Hey, it's white.
Oh, Gina Worth. She sings the Frozen song, Just Let It Go. Amen to that. I'm telling you, people. So we're getting ready we've gone over here, but the bottom line is show yourself some grace. Show yourself some grace. You can't do it all. It's the holiday. Enjoy it this year. I have wanted to go Christmas caroling for 10 years in this town. Yep. 10 years. The first 3 years I was in school, I was so stressed I couldn't get it done. The next 4 years, then I was working and I was stressed over that. Well, now I'm still working. I'm a little bit stressed. I'm going Christmas caroling this year. I am doing it here if it kills me because I have let it go every single year. And I said, okay, next year I'm going to Christmas carol. You want a Christmas carol with us? I can't sing. I cannot sing at all. Can't sing a note.
Where are we going to go do this at?
In my neighborhood. I
like holiday karaoke. That's what I call it. Caroling's holiday karaoke.
Let's Christmas carol. So do something you wouldn't normally do, man. The kids are stressed. If you're stressed, I have learned that when you're stressed out and when you're acting ugly, the kids act ugly and they're stressed out.
Happy,
Ella just said, when mama ain't happy, nobody's happy. Isn't that right, Ella? And we're much better now that she's getting older. So, and that's a whole nother talk. I'm much better now that they're teenagers and grown up. I was not a little kid person. It was not my thing. No, I'm not. I didn't like it. I loved it. I loved them and I took care of them, but it was stressful for me.
I can imagine.
I like them walking, talking, cooking their own
food.
Able
to go to the restaurant.
I did not take them to Disney World. So here's another stressor. Why do we put a bunch of kids in Disney who are in a stroller and diapers? I said my kids are not going to Disney until they can walk, talk, poop, cut their own food, walk to their own rides by themselves. And it was, how old were you when you went to Disney? 18. Jackson was 19. 18 and 19, we went to Disney. Then they didn't even like it. Cost me a bloody fortune 2 years ago. And they didn't like Disney at all.
You ever watch Jim Gaffigan's whole comedian thing about standing in line at Disney
World?
No. It is hilarious. So all you guys go to Jim Gaffigan, Disney World, standing in line like at Disney World. It's what she just said. It's really funny.
Yeah, so I can stand it. All right. So anyway, guys, listen, have a great week. Say no or just say what's your best yes.
No expectations.
Week. Just know that you are good enough right now where you are. You are good enough no matter what. You're going to have a great week at work. Don't stress. Let it roll off your back. I'm not going to be stressed that we can't answer everybody's phone call in 1 week. We're doing the best we can. We're doing the best we can.
Exactly.
What?
You cannot tell yourself something over and over. The more you think something, the more you tell your brain something, the more the nerves sort of make these little neural networks in your head. So don't say stuff like I have a bad week, I'm saying you have to sort of look at not the opposite view. Don't tell yourself a lie, but don't focus on the negative thought.
Right.
Don't focus on the negative thought.
It's just like when my patients get food sensitivity tests back, the first thing they do is look at everything they can't eat. And I go, hey, whoa, cover it up. Look at everything you can eat. And they're like, well, I don't have a dang clue what an adzuki bean is, or however you pronounce it. Oh, well, I don't either, but we'll figure it out together. And right? So don't look at what you can't do. Look at what you can do, and look at how far you've come and how great the amazing things you've done. I mean, holy cow. If you've made it past the age of 10, you have done some amazing things.
Completely. If you're past 35, I'm just saying, like, really 30, 35, and you're decent health, you've done a lot better than most people out there.
Amen to that. So, watch what you eat. You got to eat well, sleep well, move well, poop well, decrease stress, have community. Those are things that help you function better. Yeah, and then everything else will fall into place. But it's not a big deal. We make such a big deal out of everything. Yep. We make a big deal. I'm the world's worst at it. So I'm saying I make a big deal out of stuff that doesn't mean anything. We're
born in this near the same time in the year, so we both have the same personality. But you got to be here now. You got to live present. And I will say this. I thought to myself, and I was talking to Paul, my buddy, about it not too long ago. And we talked about when is the last time we get stressed at work? And like, when do we ever feel present? When is the last time you actually thought that you are right here, right now, and actually thought about this moment, which makes you not say forget, but the other thoughts sort of vanish because you're right here, right now. When was the last time? And I was like, man, many nights.
I was there today. I had a date.
Yeah, she had a date.
And I was extremely present. I mean, unbelievably present for those hours, and not even thinking until the very last 30 minutes thinking, holy crap, I got to get home. I got to get this done. I was so present. And so it was cool. It was neat.
The little birds were flying.
Oh, yeah. No, it was neat. It was neat.
Talking to her and stuff.
Oh, my goodness. Look here. Lori says, we don't stress. Minimal decor and cooking and gifts, and we leave town the first 2 weeks of December, getting out of Dodge. I love that.
That's right.
Yeah, minimal decor. I don't put up hardly anything anymore. I am going to flock my own tree this year.
Watch your mouth.
I know, right? So we joked about this yesterday. Trish, my friend at home, she flocked her tree yesterday and sent me pictures of it. And so I ordered the stuff on Amazon. I'm going to flock my old tree.
You talking about pecorino?
Sorry, that's just unprofessional. Dang, it's unprofessional. All right, guys. Okay, we love you guys. You're enough. Show yourself some grace. Have a fabulous week. We are into the holidays now. I'm telling you, full-fledged. I don't know if it's too early to turn on Christmas music before Thanksgiving. I always feel guilty. I wasn't raised like that.
No.
I was always raised after Thanksgiving. But this week is our last full week. This week. Do you know that? And then Thanksgiving is next week, and we close on Tuesday at 12. So Thanksgiving is next week.
Shannon, I don't know when we're closing.
I think that's right. Am I right?
Yeah.
Or am I wrong? I think I'm right.
We're going to be around
the 23rd.
Okay.
So
this is going to be great.
You guys, I want next week when we tune in on adrenal fatigue, I want to know how you did. Excuse me. Whoops, I'm burping over here. It's the pecorino cheese going on. I want to know how you did. I also have I have a post up on the Dani Williamson page about what are you cooking for Thanksgiving? What are you cooking for Thanksgiving? We need your gluten-free ideas and what all you're doing. I'm making I ordered the bread for a gluten-free stuffing this week. Ordered it yesterday. I accidentally ordered a whole case of gluten-free flour. I may be selling it at the office. Tom Sawyer flour. I didn't mean to order a case of it.
Tom Sawyer.
But she says it makes the best gravy. So
I will take that. Like me and my buddy Paul, mention him again. We were talking about like not doing grains. So what we did, like you talk about gravy and not doing any grains. I challenged him and challenged myself. Like I didn't do grains for like a whole month and a half. He didn't do grains for like a whole month. And he lost like 15 pounds in like, maybe I hope I'm saying 3 weeks or something like that. But all I have to say is like the one dilemma now is like we're talking about like Thanksgiving and we're like, well, what do you do for Thanksgiving? Like, and I have other people like, what do you do for Thanksgiving? I'm like, I don't know what you're going to do. Like, like have gluten-free stuffing or something.
Yeah, I'm having gluten-free stuffing. And my bird is coming from Hippo Hollow Farms. I am so excited about that. If you still haven't ordered your bird, it's not too late. You can go to Hippo Hollow Farms on Facebook and order your bird. Tell them you're a Dani Williamson
from Africa?
person. No, it's right over here in Columbia, goofball. She's from South Africa. I love her, Adele. She's fabulous. Okay, guys, have a great night. We ran way over,
Thanks,
and
everybody.
have
really
a great week. And Eleutherococcus and GABA for stress. I'm telling you, if you live locally, you can come get Eleutherococcus at the office. We have it. Do you have Eleuthero at your office?
Eleuthero, DSF, and adrenal support.
Oh yeah. All right, guys. We'll see you next week.
Bye.